morning time. All right, settle in. Find your space. Find yourself in a nice wide open leg child's pose. Let your arms reach out in front of you, or you can keep them down by your side, in between your legs. Make a pillow for your head. You can rest on blocks any which way you can. And just start to breathe in, slow down. Notice how the breath moves this morning. You know, every time we come on the mat, it's a different experience. You maybe do some of the same postures all the time. We breathe all the time. And yet, each time you come out, it's a unique experience. And so maybe you're breathing a little bit shallower, a little bit deeper today. Maybe you have a little bit more space. Oh, the gang's all here. It's so nice. Good morning. And take a few moments just to bring yourself, onto your mat and get out of the madness of whatever else is going on around you. And I guess really, the practice is how do we handle those, influxes of sensation, sensory stuff going on around us, the noises, the thoughts, the ones that are in our head, the ones that are outside of our head. And how do we handle that, manipulate it, and that takes us into real life as well. Good morning. Good morning. I'll just ask you guys to mute, and then we'll meet us in child's pose. Beautiful. All right, so stretch your arms out now a little bit further. Spread your fingers and push into the heel of the hand to smooth out your mat in front of you as you push your hips back to the back of your heels. And take all these thoughts and sounds and just make them positive for you. Getting rid of the negativity and only allowing in positive vibes. Inhale on your fingertips, walk over to the right side. Bring your left hand on top of the right, maybe longer, and look under either arm. Press the hip to the heel. Feel a nice lateral stretch. See if you can reach in two different directions without causing stress anywhere in your physical body and without changing the breath. So again, how we manage all these manipulations of or the fluctuations of what goes on around us. Inhale, rise up and walk to the other side. Breathe again laterally down the right side of your body, pressing your hips towards your heels. And just finding enough space to move into. Inhale, rise up, come to the center. Exhale, reach in two directions again. Inhale, come to your hands and knees, hands under shoulders, knees under hips, hips and shoulders width apart. Tuck your toes if you'd like, dip your belly, arch your back. Exhale, release the toes, top of the foot down, chin to chest, round and curl, cat and cow. Inhale, tuck your toes, dip your belly, arch your back, broaden your collarbones. Exhale, round and curl, top of the foot, shin down, tailbone towards the hamstrings. Inhale, arch your back, tuck your toes, dip your belly. Exhale, and round and curl, cat and cow. You can stay with the cat and cow, or you can start to make some smaller or move into bigger movements. Maybe move your hands a little bit. And just start to roll through the hips, knees, shoulders, wrists, ankles, fingers, toes. Oh, Cindy, I was going to say, Cindy, I hope I get to see you. Okay, good. And then reverse it if you're making circles. So if you have blocks, you should have them near your front of your mat right now. And then come back to the center. Hands move back just under the shoulders. Inhale, step one leg at a time back and find a downward facing dog. As you exhale, lower the heels towards the floor. Inhale, bend one knee and then the other. And just take your time, go slowly. And notice, as one arm and one foot hold the weight, and then shift to the other arm, the other foot, without, again, causing any stress in your physical body or, of course, in your mind, your brain. And then when you're ready, find a nice place to settle in. Downward facing dog. Feet are approximately hips width apart. Heels pressed towards the floor. Ribs tucked towards the belly or towards the hips. So we're not sloping our back, we're lifting and energizing through the arms. And inhale on your toes, let's measure out the length of our plank and our down dog. So shoulders should fit right over wrists. Toes are underneath heels, knees are lifted, belly is lifted. And then exhale, lift back up into your downward facing dog. Lowering the heels again towards the floor. I never say to the floor because that's not going to happen for all of us, and I don't want you to stress out trying to do it. Inhale on your toes, lift your knees up. Shift back into your plank position. Pause in your plank. Shift a little forward, shoulders a little bit more over wrists. Lay your knees on the earth and lay your belly all the way down.
Exercise reclosed.
Thanks, Siri. Inhale. Open up your feet about as wide as your hips, a little wider perhaps. And lift your chest up. Keep your hands down without pushing into them. And if you're pushing into them, then lift them up so you know that your back muscles are doing the work here as opposed to your arms. Low cobra. Exhale, come down to the floor. Walk your hands back a handprint so the elbows are on top of wrists. Press firmly through the top of your foot. We'll take it in stages. Lift your chest to the low cobra again. Press the top of the foot, shin down, and lift your kneecaps up so your legs are energized. And then you use your arms to assist you into the lift up higher. And push through the top of the foot, shin down, pull the hips through, heart opens. Upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, hips up in the air. And so each time you get in dog, and there's going to be a bunch of times we get into downward facing dog, feel your space. Lengthen it, deepen it. Inhale, high on your toes. Exhale, bend your knees and look towards the front of your mat. And little steps to walk yourself to the top of your mat. When you get to the top of the mat, hands on your foot, your shin, or your blocks. So I'm just loving blocks these days. Lift your heart up. And then forward fold, let it go. Shift your weight forward, grab opposite elbows. Put some weight into the balls of the feet so the knees and the hips are right over the ankles. And then just switch the direction of your cross. Oh, hi Maria, you snuck on too. Okay, come back to center, 2 Marias. Hang your head down, Maria, Maria. We'll call Carlos Santana, maybe he'll make a song for us. Take a breath. Release your hands to your hips. Heel toe your feet closer together, and then rise up to stand. Good, breathe. I'm just going to move my mat back a little bit so my head's not cut off. Release your arms by your side. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up. Bring your hands to your heart center, exhale. Good. So my feet were together. Now I'm going to step them apart a little bit. Interlace the fingers, release thumb and forefinger. Inhale, sweep the arms up, biceps by the ears. Exhale, up and over to the right side. Side bend, don't go too far, don't go too deep. You're not looking to get to the edge so fast. Inhale and exhale. Good. Just pulling a little bit of the left arm with the right. Inhale back to center. Exhale up and over to the other side. Open your throat, your heart. Visible if you have a mirror or the camera. So we're not going to the edge, we're just touching upon it. Inhale back to center. Exhale, release your hands to your back, fingers in either direction. Elbows squeeze in. Lift your heart up, turn your eye gaze up. Support your back with your hands and pull the elbows close together. Broaden up through the collarbones. Inhale. And exhale, come forward and just slide your hands down the back of your legs to reach the floor blocks or shins. Inhale with a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, head hangs down. Inhale, halfway lift. Bend your knees, plant your palms, step, step, high plank, pause. You can always be on your knees in a plank. Shift a little forward. Bend your elbows. Again, go to your knees or not. And then roll up and through. Upward dog. Downward dog, hips up in the air. So, you can take as many push-ups as you want. You can take no push-ups and just go to dog or child's pose. Bring your feet closer together. Inhale, right leg high in the sky. Exhale, step your right foot all the way between your two hands. Place your hands on the floor or the blocks. Square your hips. Inhale. And exhale. Back leg is firm. So there's nothing flimsy about the back leg. Left hand on the floor block, right hand to your sacrum or your hip. Lengthen your spine. Rotate to the right side of your space. Right arm shifts up and over. Spread your fingers. So we're looking to make like a T shape with our arms. Right on top of each other. Hug the right hip in. Lower the hips down. Don't rotate onto the outer edges of your feet. Not just yet. Good. Exhale, hand comes down to the floor. Look up, step back, high plank, pause. Find your way back to downward facing dog, your way. Upward, and we meet back in down dog. Feet together. Inhale, lift your left leg high in the sky. Exhale, step it through between your hands. Hands on the floor blocks. Lengthen your spine. So just because we stepped our foot there doesn't mean it's in the exact right space. Right hand's going to stay, left hand comes to your hip. Step it through, Maria, I don't know if you saw that. And then turn your torso, stack your shoulders. Left arm comes up. Spread your fingers, spread your collarbones. Lower your right hip a little bit more without getting relaxed in your back knee. So stay strong. Inhale. And exhale. One more breath. Good. Lower the breath, lower the hands. Step back, high plank. You choose your way, downward dog. Breathe in, breathe out. Feet come together. Inhale, right leg lifts again, nice and high. This one you can open the hip. Exhale, bring it through, step it through. Come to your fingertips or blocks. Low lunge. Push firmly through your feet, hug your hips to the center line, and then rise up, crescent lunge. Bend your back knee, drop your hips. Good. Then straighten your back leg, lift your heart up. Hug the hips to the center. Try to smooth out the ribs, so ribs to hips without, overarching the lower back again. Inhale. Sink a little lower, exhale. One more breath. Inhale, open to your left side, warrior two. Bend your right knee over the ankle. Back toes turn slightly forward. Reach your left arm back, reach your right arm forward. Gaze down to the right middle finger. Your gaze can really be anywhere that keeps you in stillness, right? Keeps you in thought, keeps your breath steady and even. Inhale. Sink a little lower, exhale. Good. Inhale, lengthen out of your rib cage. It's like you're being pulled up. And then hinge forward, right arm on the thigh, left arm up over shoulder. And you can stay right where you are, or you can experiment with other arm movements here. Even binds, half and full, as long as you can maintain an open shoulder, chest, torso. And not put too much weight on your right arm. So the weight is really in your legs, and you're supporting yourself with your strength of your core. One more breath if you're bound, release it. Inhale, look up and reverse it. Pull your left hip towards your right knee. Lift out of your waistline and lift up and over. Inhale. And exhale. Good, one more breath. Inhale, release your hands to the floor. Spin the back foot around. Exhale, high plank. Inhale, shift forward and bend your elbows. Take your way through push-ups. Skip them. We'll meet in downward dog. Feet together, back of the mat. Oops. Earphones fall out. Good. Inhale, left leg in the air. Exhale, open your left hip, bend the knee. Inhale, bring your left knee to center, step it all the way through. Support yourself on blocks. Keep your hips low. Hug the left hip in towards the midline, right leg is firm. Inhale, float up to a standing crescent lunge. Bend your back knee, lower your hips. Once you get the hips low, keep them low, just straighten the leg. Good. My leg's gonna be a little bit bent. You know those injury things we work with. Inhale, your hands can touch, they don't have to. But try to reach the fingers nice and strong. Sink a little lower in the next breath. Exhale, open up, right side, right foot turns forward, left foot all the way forward. Warrior two. Pull the right arm back, left arm forward, inhale. And exhale. Left leg parallel to the floor. Think about spiraling your upper thighs outward while you squeeze your heels inward. Breathe in, breathe out. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, hinge forward, left arm on top of the thigh, right arm up. So we have a few breaths here you can play. You can take the arm all the way overhead, half or full binds. As long as your form stays open and you don't lose your breath. So anything is possible as long as you're breathing and you're not practicing with your ego or habit. Worse than ego, I think. One more breath. Bring the arms up if you're bound. Inhale, rise up and reverse it. Right hip moves to the left knee. Lift out of your waistline. Good, beautiful side stretch again. Inhale. Exhale, hands to the floor. Spin it around. Inhale, step back to plank. Shift forward on the exhale. We bend our arms and or our knees. Lift your heart up. Downward facing dog. Feet together, back of the mat. Inhale, float your right leg up. Open the hip if you'd like. Exhale, step your right foot through. Inhale, reach up, rise up, crescent lunge. Exhale, open to your left side, warrior two. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, side angle pose. Inhale, reverse your angle, your warrior. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step back. You can skip all these vinyasas, guys. You can go right into downward dog, or you can add to them. So you make it your own. Feet together, left leg in the air. Open your left hip. Exhale, step your left foot through. Inhale, rise up, crescent lunge. Exhale, open up, warrior two. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, side angle pose. Inhale, reverse this warrior. Exhale, hands to the floor, step back, and find your way to downward facing dog. If you're taking your vinyasas, stay strong through all of them. Don't rush through them. Take a pause with each movement. One more time, feet together, right leg up, open up. Exhale, step your right foot through. Inhale, rise up, crescent. Exhale, open warrior two, left side. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, hands to the floor. We meet in downward dog. Your choice, how you get there. Feet together. Inhale, left leg up and open. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, rise up, crescent. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, flow through your push-up. Downward dog. Hips up in the air. And breathe. All right, bring your feet together. Inhale, lift your right leg up and open the hip. Take a couple of times here, rotation, knee, hip, ankle, whatever kind of speaks to you right here and now. And then take this next breath as you step to the outside of your right hand. You can stay on your knees, on your toes. Turn your right toes to the right side. Good. Breathe in. Just let your left hip release towards the floor. Little lizard pose. And then go ahead and lower your knee to the floor. Good. Right hand on the right thigh. Twist. Right arm comes up. Good. Stay here or bring your left heel, to your buttocks and reach behind and grab for the foot. Choose if you want to get there. If you backed off to get there, come back down a little bit. Breathe. Take 2 more breaths here. Allow that left hip to sink down towards the floor. 1 more breath. Good. Release your foot if you're holding it. Hands back on the inside. Now walk your right foot a little bit closer and move your right arm back to the outside. Press firmly through your hip. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead, Anjaya Asana. Exhale, bring prayer to your heart. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist left elbow outside right thigh. Now hug your knee and your tricep together. Lift your belly away from your thighs. And now also choose to tuck your toes underneath and lift your left knee off the floor. These are options. You don't ever have to take any of them. And of course, some of you even open and exalt your arms or bind here. It's up to you. Some of you may want to take an arm balance, bringing your hands to the floor and letting your hips sit on top of your arms. So we're here long enough to make those decisions. 2 more breaths wherever you are. Good. Inhale, come back to center, release your hands. Tuck your back toes under. Step back through your plank, push up, downward dog. Hips up in the air. Good. Inhale, float your left leg up, open the hip. Take a few moments here just to roll through the ankle, the hip, knee, whatever you need. And then exhale, step your left foot outside your left hand. Turn your toes a little bit to the left side and just shift a little forward and back, relaxing. I'm going to bring a pad for my knee. Good. And then let's settle the right knee down to the floor. Release the back foot. Good. Take your left hand on your inner thigh. Rotate. You can stay here. You can lift the arm up. Some of you may choose to kick your right heel to your buttocks and grab a hold of the foot and twist. If you backed off to get the foot, that's okay. See if you can then hinge forward a little bit more. Nice. Good, Lord. Breathe. 1 more breath. Find the biggest rotation you got. Exhale, return your hands to the center. And then turn your left foot forward, bring it a little bit more forward, hands on either side. Inhale, rise up, crescent lunge. Exhale, prayer to the heart. Rotate to the outside of the left thigh. Hug your arm and thigh together. Stay there or tuck your back toes underneath you. Lift the knee up and stay low. So the knee up, but the knee lifts up, but the hips don't. Lift the belly and rotate. And again, some of you have an exalt, a bind, or an arm balance. Choose to take whatever variations you want. And wherever you are, stay for 2. And 1 more breath. Exhale. Release your hands to the floor. Look forward, inhale. Exhale, step back, plank, chaturanga, upward, downward facing dog. Breathe in, breathe out. Rise high up on your tippy toes. Soften your knees and look at your mat. Walk your feet halfway up to the middle of the mat. Take 2 fists in between your feet. Measure out the width of your hips approximately. Inhale, halfway lift. Have your blocks nearby. In fact, have your right block a little bit more to the center. And bend your knees enough that you can lift your toes up and slide your hands underneath. Wrap your big toe around your wrist. Shift your weight forward. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, begin to straighten the legs. Not everybody will get straight legs. That's okay. Elbows bend out to the side, head to the shin. Allow your neck to soften. So it's kind of like gravity's just pulling your upper back towards your ears without, really using your traps to get there. It's kind of like the skin is folding upward. Breathe in and out. Let go of tension in your neck, so shake out your head, yes and no. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bring your hands to your hips. Inhale, rise to stand. Release your arms by your side. So we're going to do a little standing sequence that will be familiar to some and not familiar to others. It'll incorporate a lot of things that we've done for thousands of years. Inhale, stretch your arms overhead and bring your arms out shoulder height. Fingers reach forward, shoulders pull back and down. Weight is back in the heels, inhale. Bend your knees for a chair. Sit as if you were sitting into a chair. Lift your belly away from your thighs. So you want to think about pressing your thigh creases away from your hip creases. Sit weight back. Keep your knees open. I'm going to look at you for a second. If your knees start to buckle in, you might want to put a block there. Good. Sit down a little bit lower, press through the bottoms of your feet and rise up to stand. Good. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, come on your toes. Arms come shoulder height, bend your knees. Sit into chair again. No, it's not Bikram. Right? So our knees are not coming together. We're not lowering the hips. They can lower as much as you want to lower them. But think about lifting higher up on your tippy toes. Shifting out of your knees though. Good. Good. Then inhale, come up, rise. Lower your arms, lower your heels. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, take your right arm under your left once or twice. Wrap it and bind it. Lift the arms up and down. Think about your arms are wrapped. Now, if you can't wrap your arms around, you can hold onto your shoulders, or you can just keep your arms apart and tap the fingers, the back of the wrist maybe. Some of you will get your palms. Inhale, bend your knees. I also want you to think about, I'll get you there when the legs are doing it. Lift your right heel up and take your right leg over once, again, or twice, or even put your foot on the floor or block. And then if you have, a camera or a mirror, look at your hips and notice that the left hip probably swung out a little bit more. So level it off with the right hip. Elbows in line with your knees. Pull your shoulders back. And breathe. Eagle pose. Think about your eagle as if you're trying to pull both arms and legs apart. Right? So find that energy. Sit a little lower. Some of you like to bow your eagle, that's fine. If you're doing that, elbows in front of the knee. Keep sinking your hips low. Inhale and exhale. And then inhale, come back up. Stand up, release it, arms and legs. Exhale, prayer to the heart. Arms released by your side. Inhale, float your arms up. Exhale, left arm under right once, twice, or just hug yourself. And lift the arms up and down a couple times. So I don't want you to rest on your chest. I want your arms just a little bit out and maybe point the fingers a little bit forward. Exhale, bend your knees. Inhale, lift your left heel and glide the left leg over once or twice. And then again, notice if the right hip bumps out, level out your hips. If you can't see it, you can put your hands on your hips and try to feel it, right? So it's left over, left under, left underarm, left over leg. Sink a little lower, weight back in the heels. Some of you, again, will take that rounded spine. Go for it anytime you want. Pull the belly in, elbows in front of the knees, and imagine that you're pulling both your arms and your knees apart from each other. Feel that energy. Inhale, lift your torso if it's down. Exhale, inhale, release. Arms up, legs up. Prayer to the heart. Arms on your side. Inhale, lift your right heel up. Open your right knee to the side, hug your left hip in. Bring your right foot above or below your knee or in any other variations that you choose. Bring your hands to your heart center. Push your heel and your inner thigh together. Point your right toes down. So find that, it's like a suction. Good. And if you put your foot on the floor, it's fine. You can extend exalt your arms, open up your tree branches, or stay as you are. Inhale, bring your hands to prayer. Exhale, release hands and feet. Second side, tree pose. Left heel lifts, left knee opens. Right hip hugs in. Left foot, you can help guide it along with your hand, above or below your knee. Hands to your heart. Exalt anytime you open, anytime you feel like you want to open. But remember to hug the hip towards the center. Looking good, guys. Breathe. Inhale. Exhale, float the hands down. Ooh, float the leg down. Gracefully, more gracefully than me. Take a breath. Inhale, bring your hands to your hips. Step wide to the mat, to the right side of your mat. Have your block towards the right foot. So, wide-legged fold. Nice and wide. Open up your arms shoulder height. And if your arms are not over your ankles, if your heels are too close, spread your feet apart. And then bring your arms behind your back and place your fingers, palms together, knuckles down. Use a strap or towel if needed. Your toes may be slightly pigeoned in, right? Lift your chest up, squeeze your arms together, and exhale, fold over. Stop halfway. Notice what's going on in your knees and your hips. Are your knees pulling back behind your hips? Or can you shift your weight a little bit more forward, even if the knees bend? And then forward fold over your legs, arms up. Good. Forward, wide-legged forward fold, Prasarita Padottanasana, just in case you would, it might come up in a crossword puzzle or something. Release your arms to your back and switch the cross of your fingers. Inhale, lengthen your arms up and over, exhale. Forward fold and let the breath guide you down, opening up the back side of your body, open up the front collarbone, shoulders. Inhale, release your hands to your hips, lengthen your spine, and rise up. We'll stay facing this direction. Turn your right toes to the right. Turn your left toes slightly to the right. So more towards the top left corner of your mat, facing the back corner of your mat. And then level out your hips. Open your arms. They should still be as wide as your hips, as your heels. Inhale. Good. Exhale. Bump your left hip back and bring your right arm forward and out until you can no longer go. And then choose to use the block. Inside, outside. Hand on the foot, hand on the shin. Some of you take a big toe grip, but make sure that's going to be a little bit shorter of a stance. You can always adjust the size or the depth of your stance. Triangle pose. Forming, I think 6 triangles in our body at one time. Stacking the shoulders as if they were against the wall. Rotating the right ribs to the left. Breathe in and out. If you have a block, take it in your right hand. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, turn your right foot to the left. Turn your left foot to the left. Switch hands with the block if you have it. Good. Level out your shoulders, hips. And then bump your hips right. Reach your torso to the front. As far out as you can. Left hand can be on the block. Inside, outside. If you're outside, you might want to bring it higher and further back. So all sorts of options happening here. Inhale and exhale. Now bringing the left ribs towards the right side. Hug your hips underneath you. Reach up and down in opposition. Big toe presses firmly into the earth. Good. Take another breath here. Empty the breath. Look down. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, bring your hands to your hips. Step together. You can move back a little bit on your mat if you're close to, a mirror or a door or anything else. You don't have to step all the way to the top of the mat. Take a breath in. Let go of your hands by your side. Stand up nice and tall. Good. Inhale. Take your left foot and step it back 2 to 3 feet. Hips are squared. You're on train tracks, not a tightrope. Have your blocks nearby. Inhale. Bring the arms overhead. Exhale, open the arms out and fold over your right leg. So if the hamstrings are having a lovely conversation with you, bend your knee a little bit more, put your hands on the blocks, and then drop the left hip and right hip parallel to each other. So the left hip will tend to be open a little bit more, a little higher. And see if you can just level out the pelvis. Inhale. And exhale for your pyramid pose. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, come halfway up. Place your right hand on your sacrum. Keep your left hand inside or outside or on your shin. Lengthen your spine, inhale. Rotate, turn your torso to the right. Rotate your triangle. And then when the shoulders stack, right arm comes up. Hips hugging towards the center. Spread your fingers, open your heart. Don't be in a rush. Feel the pose. Again, don't practice on habit. If you always take your hand outside, bring it inside today. Bring it on your shin. Take one more breath and find a little bit more space. Exhale, hands to the floor. Inhale, bring your hands to your hips, halfway lift, and rise all the way up. Good. Bring your arms up overhead. Inhale. Good. Exhale, hinge forward, and float your left leg off the floor. You can have your arms anywhere. Forward, back. Warrior 3. You're simply the best. Hips are squared. Lengthen the leg out. Yeah, you can put your hands on blocks for Warrior 3. It's awesome. One more breath. Exhale, feet together, top of the mat, arms by your side. Breathe. Inhale, bring your hands to your hips. Step your right foot back 2 to 3 feet. Shoulders and hips square. Inhale, bring the arms up overhead. Exhale, fold over your left leg. Hands to the floor blocks. Further back if you'd like. Higher up if you need. And then level out your pelvis. That's the hardest part of this pose, is to feel it, notice it, that the right hip drops down slightly, the left hip pulls up to level it off. Inhale, keep the length in the spine, and then exhale, fold over. So we try to do this with a straight spine. Straight spine as opposed to this rounded, curled. There's nothing wrong with it, it's just not where we're going. Inhaling and exhaling gets you deeper and deeper into the release. One more breath. Inhale, halfway lift. Left hand on your sacrum. Right arm reaches out. And now you can rotate here through the torso, hand inside, outside, shin. Feel the stacking first. So rotate the torso, then notice the stacking of the shoulders, and then the left arm can come up. Gaze is up if it feels right for you. Down if you need a little more grounding and if there's any tension in the neck. Keep pressing firmly into your left big toe as well as the other toes. Take another breath. Exhale, fold over. Inhale, hands to your hips, come up. Good, exhale. Bring your arms up overhead, inhale. Bring your hands to prayer, shift forward. And we're going to fly the right leg off the floor. Lengthen the leg out of your hip. Crown of the head in line with your toes, your foot. Breathe in. Breathe out. Good. Inhale, step your feet together. Exhale, release your arms. Inhale, bend your left knee, touch forward, bend it, and grab a hold of the inside of the foot, right arm up. I know, if you like to hold on the outside, that's your choice. Inhale, lengthen. Now, you can stay right here, because it's fine, or you can begin to kick back, and if you can't reach your hand and foot, that's okay too. You can reach towards it. I mean, if you have a strap or a towel accessible, it's got to be a big towel. Good. Dancer's pose, kicking your foot into your hand, or standing bow pulling pose. Nice and good. Kick your foot away from your hand, kick your hand away from your shoulder. Just open up, nice, Karen, good. We'll have to send this and share this with Michelle. Tell her this is her pose, I know. Breathe in, breathe out. Release your hand, release your foot, stand tall. Like it never happened. Inhale, let's bring the arms up. Right leg forward and then bring it back, kick it behind you, grab the inside of the foot. Knees together, you can stand here, this is the pose. Or if you want to flow through it, kick the left back behind you. Try to keep the hip closed a little bit. And some of you, eventually the foot will creep up over the top of your head. Good, find a little bit more space, so open up the front body all the way from the shoulders to the hips. One more big breath. Exhale, slowly come out of it. Release your arms. Inhale, bring your hands up. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Bend your knees. Come into a low squat. And then lower your hips to the floor. Nice. Inhale. And exhale. I'm going to actually turn my mat a little bit more now. Roll down through your spine. Come onto your backs. Good. All right. Hands behind your head. Legs up. Breathe in. Good. Left elbow to right knee, left leg out, hovering over the floor. Inhale to center. Exhale, other side. So those of you who were with me, I think on Friday, we did these nice and slow, just like this. But if you want to go a little faster, go faster as long as you have control. So it's not this crazy, I call it 80s bicycles, right? Inhale to center, exhale, twist. And inhale. And exhale. So your opposite leg is perhaps hovering off the floor. We're just going to do a couple more of these. Some people call them yogi bicycles, but we all know they're fitness bicycles, they're Pilates bicycles, they're yoga bicycles. They're bicycles. Keep your knees over your hips. And let's go for 3 more on each side. One more time each side. I'm going to sing to you one more. Come back to center. Lay down and hug your knees to your chest. Ah. Good. Hold on to the front of your shins or your calves. and take your feet to the floor. Line up your heels with your sitting bones. If you can't continue to hold on to your, I should move this out of your way. If you can't continue to hold on to your shins, just raise the back of your heels with your fingers. Inhale. Tilt your pelvis so your pubic bone points to the sky. Knees are in line with your hips. Lift your hips up off the floor. Bridge pose. Walk your arms underneath your back. Interlace your fingers, palms together. Energetically draw your heels to your hands. Energetically draw your hands to your heels. And energetically point your knees forward. Don't turn your head up. Take a breath. And release your arms, upper mid, lower back to the floor. Let your knees come together. Breathe in. And out, waist. Good. Second set bridge. Choose to do a full wheel or stay in your bridge. Tilt your pelvis. Inhale, lift your hips up. If you're going for the full wheel, hands come by your shoulders. You come to the top of your head for a moment, for a breath, and then push through the hands and the feet to open up the front body. Any wheel takers, huh? Cindy, yeah. Good. If you're up in wheel, take the top of your head down. Everybody upper, mid, lower back to the floor. Hug your knees into your chest. Hold on again to the front of your shins. And do a little, like a Pilates roll up, rock and roll. And then come forward, cross your ankles, come into your plank pose, pause, and lay your belly on the floor. Good. Inhale, lift your chest, low cobra. Exhale, come down. Inhale, bend your knees, flex your feet. Reach your arms for your feet. Hug your knees closer together, feet closer together. Inhale, kick from both sides, lift up, 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 bow pose. Breathe in and breathe out. Inhale and exhale. Kick both sides of your body away. Inhale. Exhale, find your final pulling the bow. 3, 2, and 1. Push back to child's pose. Sit on your heels. Good. Inhale back up to your hands and knees and let your legs come around out in front of you. Center yourself so that you have space on your mat for your head. Good. Inhale, reach your arms out in front of you, flex your feet. Bring your chin to your chest, pull your belly into your spine, roll all the way back down to the floor. Take one of your blocks nearby, bend your knees, and let's just lift our hips up and put the block underneath. So for a supported back bend here. And we'll do a supported legs up the wall pose. If you prefer to be on the wall, go right to the wall. If you prefer to be in a shoulder stand, take the shoulder stand, legs up in the air. And again, your feet are over your hips. So when we're standing, our hips are over our feet, and now our feet are over our hips. So a lot of us tend to bring our legs back further and think that our legs are straight up and down, but you want to have that nice L shape here. Release your arms by your side, inhale. Breathe in and out. Take 2 more breaths, everybody, in this inversion. Simple, safe inversion. And then gently bring your feet back to the floor. Lift your hips up off the block. Remove it. Articulate your spine down, 1 vertebrae at a time. Draw the knees into the chest. Inhale. Head and shoulders lift round and curl. Exhale. Inhale, open your arms to a T as you lay your head to the floor. Shift your hips right, let your knees fall to the left, spinal twist. Inhale to center. Exhale, move your hips to the left side. Move your knees to the right side. Inhale, come back to your center. Exhale, hug your knees to your chest. Lift your head and shoulders again. And then grab the back of your legs and stretch your legs straight up in the air. Inhale. Lower your head, exhale. Bend your right knee and cross the right ankle over the left knee. The left leg can be straight up in the air, 90 degrees, or it could just hang out. And some of you can take this pose a little deeper. Maybe bring your foot, like a twister over your head and come into it. I can't do it anymore. Used to be able to do it. But used to be, don't count anymore. They just lay on the floor till you sweep them away. All right, let it go. Hip stretch. Pull your left knee in and your right knee open. So. Wherever you are with your foot, if it's over your head, bring it back down to your leg. And then release the left foot, release the right foot. Hug the knees to the chest. Head and shoulders lift. Extend your legs in the air. Head down, left leg over right. Left ankle over right knee. Leg can be straight in the air for your right leg. It could be bent 90 degrees. You can relax it. And again, you can take this left leg and place it behind your head or anything else. You can just wrap it in your arms like a baby. So where do you get the most benefit for you? Right? It doesn't matter what I tell you to do. It doesn't matter really what your head tells you to do. What does your body need? Pull in with the right, press open with the left. Breathe in. And breathe out. And then slowly uncross the legs, hug the knees to the chest. Stretch your legs out in front of you. Take anything you need for comfort. Stretch your arms overhead, reach. And then exhale, bring your arms down by your side for your Shavasana. Let go. Breathe in. And empty out. Relax your glutes. And allow your body to surrender, giving the opportunity for your body to take in what you've physically placed on it. you have the opportunity to stay longer in your practice, stay. And if not, come on back up slowly, increasing your breath, deepening your breath. Bringing small movements back to your fingers, toes, wrists, ankles. Draw your knees up to your chest. Turn yourself onto one side. Pause as you take a few breaths in fetal pose. And then come to a comfortable seat, bringing the hands to your heart center. Bowing down in gratitude for yourselves for showing up. And a bow in gratitude for Zoom for getting us to this place 2.5 years later. So thank you all for showing up and doing the work. Thank you for sharing and allowing me to share and guide with you. Namaste, Satnam, go in peace, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your day. For those of you at home, stay fit, stay healthy. Get vaccinated.